Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Casper the Boy Diviner, and today I wanted to talk about April. April was such a month, like legitimately it was such a big receiving month because I got so many decks that I actually pre-ordered or backed long time ago. So I did a little mini tarot haul, so you can take a look. You can see the new decks that I got, such as the Whitefly Tarot, such as the Cosma Visions, the Prisma Visions, the Abstract Heart Oracle, and so many others. And I got a bit overwhelmed this month because I got so many decks. And I want to try all of them, but it's so difficult to find the time. Now that with my new job, it's been the working hours are long, and that's the issue. It's hard to find time basically. I get home, I meditate, and then I play a bit of Genshin Impact, and then I have to go to bed. So it's a bit of a struggle to think about my spiritual routine. I haven't been doing as many readings as I would like, and I do them in office, so I have to use the same deck over and over again. Not that I really mind because I'm using the White Newman in the office, which I really enjoy, but it takes away time for me to experience some of these decks, and I feel a bit sad. For example, I've received the Fuller Cause Tarot, and I have not used it at all. Like, I have not touched it, even though I received it in April. I have not touched it even now. So I'm trying to figure out a better way, and people have told me like they committed to a single deck for a whole month, things like that. And because I have so many, I really am trying to put a stop to my deck purchasing. I'm going to try to stop buying decks for the rest of the year, hopefully. And I will still receive the decks that I have backed, such as the Lubanko Tarot, which is coming, and the Blood Moon Tarot I'll be collecting tonight. So I have so many decks in the queue. I don't see a point in actually buying more decks. Because of that, I'm trying to stay away from Kickstarter, from looking at tarot news, and I'm afraid that would affect my recaps because I talk about decks that I actually see on Kickstarter, or decks that I've really heard about based on social media or research even. Stopping would be helpful for my no-buy plan, but it wouldn't be so friendly to my channel. So I'm trying to figure out a balance here. That being said, I really want to thank my coffee supporter this month, Ray from Drop of Golden Tarot. Thank you so much for contributing. I really appreciate the support that you're giving me for this channel. So yeah, I'm having this sort of weird dilemma that I don't know how to tackle yet. How I should move my channel to. I think because I do a lot of walkthroughs, I don't do enough reviews just because I don't use the decks enough. I think people are generally more interested in reviews, but based on views and based on the analytics, it doesn't really always seem like the case. So I do need to think about how I want to do that. Would it be interesting to see a first impressions versus the review that comes maybe a few months later when I finally finish it? That's a great grand thought. I also have been thinking about working more for beginner tarot reader topics. I'm also thinking about doing more pick a card, maybe on a separate channel, just because I don't want to clutter this channel too much with that. There are so many thoughts about where I want to take my channel to. It's also about finding the right amount of energy that I can put to this endeavor. Okay, I really rambled a lot, so maybe we can talk about some decks that actually came on Kickstarter that I was interested in, but I didn't get. But the first one is the Moon Void Tarot, and this is a deck that Julie from Peekaboo Rose has always talked about. She actually colored in or drawn some things on her own deck, and that really attracted to me, made me feel like this deck is really beautiful. And then the second edition came out on Kickstarter, but it's pink. So that was the thing that I don't know if I like that change, but the art is still beautiful. I encourage you guys to check it out. I don't know if it's still open or not because I told myself not to check Kickstarter anymore, but if it is, I encourage you to take a quick look at it and see whether you're interested. Another one that I was really curious about is Arcana Mortis. Arcana Mortis, I think, is about death, about memento mori, about the reminders of death. Yeah, it's one of those darker decks that might turn people off, but it really attracts me. At the same time, I don't need another dark deck because I have so many of them. Honestly, I'm this close to decluttering. I'm just so tired to go through every single thing I have. I've seen a few videos about people giving away or losing the collection. That's really interesting because it seems like a collective kind of energy here. I think I saw Papa Squirrel doing that, and I do want to do that, but I don't like shipping overseas just because I don't want to incur all that carbon. And there's a lot of fear when I ship overseas because I don't know what might happen to the package. So I'll try to sell locally first. But if I don't get good prices, or if people are difficult in Singapore, or people are not interested in those decks, I will definitely reach out to all of you guys. Those were the only 2 decks that I saw that I was attracted to on Kickstarter. I have not been on more, and I know there are many more tarot decks that are there now, but I'm not really interested in any of them. So these are the 2 I will mention today. And apart from the mini tarot haul, I actually received the Luna Soul Tarot as well. So let me know if you guys want to see this. Thank you Limina11 for sending this to me. They also sent me the Modern Witch coloring book. I'm not really a colorer, so I don't know, but you know, let me know if you want to see this. Let me know if you guys are actually using this and coloring. I think it's an interesting way to learn more about tarot, and especially the RWS system. It's just, I feel like it's more of a... I'm just not a colorer, you know. If I want to relax, I do something else. And then finally, I want to talk about the books I've read this month. The first one I read is Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. I love him as a writer. I read almost all his books. I couldn't finish some of them, and I think that's okay because they were not particularly riveting. But my favorite book from him is Never Let Me Go. I really enjoyed that book. This book is actually, compared to Never Let Me Go, it has the same vein, that kind of same atmosphere. And I read it and I enjoyed it, but it's definitely not as good as Never Let Me Go. I think the storyline might be a bit too simple. The ending is a bit too fairy tale for me. I wish there was more darkness in this book. I wish terrible things happened. I know that sounds terrible, but I wish terrible things happened because they were all, it was hinted throughout the whole book, but nothing terrible really happened in the end. So that's my thought. Still a wonderful book, still a good book, still an interesting atmospheric book. But Never Let Me Go is still the top of my list, and you know, this one is not bad. That's another book that I bought, and I think I talked about it, but this is actually my favorite magic book right now. Divine Magic, The Practical Art of Divine Magic. This is my favorite book, and I wish... I think I might make a review on this book because of how wonderful it is. I have the e-version, and I bought the physical version just to reread it again in my hands, and so I can make direct notes. Kindle is great. I just find it hard to make notes, and I find it hard to retrieve my highlights, and it's so much easier to flip through a book like this and find the exercise you want rather than clicking next in the Kindle. So that's how I feel. And a companion to this one, as recommended by Amazon, is the Helimenos. I think I pronounced it wrong. I think I already showed this during one of my book hauls, and I really want to finish reading this book. It's been interesting so far. I think one part that is hard to do in Singapore is having that hearth. This book talks about Hestia and the hearth, and how Greek family worship is really usually surrounded by that. And I think something maybe I can do is try lighting a candle in my candle house every day. What they do is actually throw some food in the hearth as offerings. I don't think I can do that here, so I need to find something that is better for me. And I'm still at the point where they're going to cover like 15 days of rites. So I don't know if I can commit to that in my daily life just because I work from 9 to 7 right now. So I'll see what I can do. I'll see how I can scale it to my level. Like I mentioned, I'm interested in working with Apollo and Hecate or Hecate. And I'm still waiting for my Hecateon to come. It's already been shipped out, so I'm just waiting and fingers crossed it will come soon. I also started reading The Prophet finally after so long, and it's been okay. I think maybe I'm just not, maybe it's just not the right time again. Like when I read it, I appreciate the words, I appreciate the meaning, but I find it hard to apply, and I feel like application is so important to me right now in a way. Like I'm trying to build my spiritual routine again. I stopped doing my Gallery of Magic work just because I'm done with Success Magic, 49 weeks of just doing Success Magic over and over again. And now I need to think about what I want to do next. I'm looking at Magical Riches, to be honest, but I haven't really thought about doing it just because I'm so lazy. Like I'm just tired. I'm just tired from my day-to-day. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a very rambly monthly recap. I don't know how to edit this, but if you enjoy my monthly recap, talk to me, comment below, leave a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for your support, and you guys have a great rest of the day. You take care. Bye.